Welcome back, everyone, to the OG&E Coliseum Game 2 of Championship Saturday. Final Saturday of high school basketball in the state. It is the 2A Girls State Basketball Championship. Jay Lindley alongside now the winningest state championship coach, head coach of Lomega, now his 9th title. Kevin Llewellyn, how you doing, sir?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Of course, two teams facing off here. You have Howe. You have two coaches with a high win total. Talking about Chris Brown is 26 years a head coach, over 600 career wins as his Lady Lions making their 10th finals appearance. And for Vanoss, Coach John Hurt with over 500 career wins has his Lady Wolves in with an upset win to start the tournament. They were able to knock off top-ranked Dell 44-39 before dispatching 8th-ranked Latta 33-28. That game played in Yukon yesterday. And Vanoss, a team that's 14-2 against 2A squads, taking on a Howe Lady Lions team that is 28-3 on the season, ranked 2nd in the state, as they were able to punch their ticket into the championship Saturday round by knocking off number 6 Riverside 64-55, and then a win over number 7 Fairview 54-51, as Howe sports a 17-0 record against 2A competition. I know, Coach, you've obviously these two coaches long tenured at their locations, much like you are at Lomega. You've crossed paths with both of them. Just for both of these teams, and of course, Coach Brown has had a ton of success at Howe, and really Coach Hurt has brought some success, if you will, to Vanoss, a little-known program, making their 14th state tournament appearance down in the Ada area. You have two really distinctly different styles here. You have the offense of Howe, you have the defense of Vanoss, and the big question is who's going to win out?
That's the question in this one. What style is going to win? How they're going to get up and down. They're going to press you. I watched them play on Thursday. They shot the basketball really well against Riverside. And then for Vanoss, you have the big girl in the middle that kind of controls everything defensively. They can put a lot of pressure on outside with her, try to force everything to the middle and let her take care of it whenever they get in there. So, I expect a really good matchup.
The thing that kind of stands out looking first at Vanoss, and even Coach Hurt has been quoted in the Ada Evening News as saying, well, we hang our hat on defense. We're the best in the state at it. He may have an argument. Team's only averaging 27.7 points per game this season. That through 30 total games played. Only 9 times this year has a team scored 30 or more points against the Lady Wolves. Conversely, for Howe, they're a team that scores 61 points per game. Their average margin of victory this season at 22 points per contest. They can shoot from anywhere. They're 44% from the field this season, 34% from beyond the arc, and are a 71% free throw shooting team. You talk about those two differences, and really, you talk about styles. To me, it's almost more about pace. We saw that a minute ago with Washington and Adair. Washington controlled the pace from the get-go, and it wasn't even a game after one quarter.
Yeah, like you said, pace. Howe wants to play with a fast pace. Coach Brown always has. They've always got after you really, really hard on the defensive end, but in the full court, want to make you uncomfortable for the whole game. And Vanoss's pace, they're going to be real deliberate on the offensive end. I watched Thursday against Dale also, and I thought they didn't take many bad shots. A lot of girls teams will take quite a few bad shots in a game. Vanoss didn't take many bad shots. They worked it until they got the shot that they wanted, and that's kind of the pace they want to play at.
Of course, the one thing to think of, at least the trend here so far at state this weekend, the teams that have played with the faster pace have been the victorious teams pretty much throughout. Even going to yesterday's 6A title game, you had a fast-paced team in Putnam City North winning the title over Muskogee, and then yesterday evening, Lincoln Christian with what they were able to do against Douglas. And then even here today in the 3A title game, Washington obviously establishing that sort of fast pace against Adair. So it's been the teams that have gone quick that has so far been able to win gold here this state championship weekend. course, coming up, we'll take a look at the starters. It is our 2A Girls State Championship pregame show as second-ranked Howe faces off with fifth-ranked Vanoss. Back after this on Squirtle and the Sports Animal streaming platforms.
At Northwestern, with small classes, you can be seen. With over 40 programs from business to nursing, you can be career-driven. With a campus home away from home, you can be independent. With over half our students graduating without student loans, you can be debt-free. And with a mosaic of cultures, you can be you. Northwestern, success lives here.
6 surgeons, 4 locations, 1 goal: to improve the health and lives of people in Oklahoma. At Oral and Maxillofacial Associates, we treat every patient like family. As the preferred dental implant and oral surgery specialist of the Oklahoma City Thunder, and with over 30 years of service to our community, we are trusted by professionals and dedicated to expert care. With 4 convenient locations around the metro area, we are here for you. Trust the experts at OMA. Visit our website, www.omaok.com.
Welcome back, everyone. Our 2A State Championship pregame show. Jay Lindley alongside championship coach Kevin Llewellyn, head coach of Omega basketball. As we take a look, starters for this one, I have to make a joke about rosters. You get on these score sheets, coaches, just so you know, there's only 15 slots, okay? I love the way Howe represents 20 numerous players on their roster here for the state championship roster. There's another 10 players that do not have numbers attributed to them. You look at their team photo, there are Class A high school football teams in the state that don't have the numbers that Chris Brown has brought out. And in a day and age where it's difficult to get kids to play, I found that highly impressive.
Well, you wonder why they're so good. I mean, if you look at all the teams that are good. Now, Vanoss, they've got, what do they have? 2.
They're right at 15.
15. I mean, those teams are, people want to play for good programs. People want to play for good coaches. I tell people all the time, kids still want to be coached.
Well, the thing about Howe is with the amount of players they have, they could basically have 6 different sets of 5-on-5 going, or 3 different sets of 5-on-5 going on if the court's big enough. Let's take a look at the starters for Howe, the Lady Lions, again coached by Chris Brown. The Howe graduate of 1990 with over 600 career wins, now in his 26th season as head coach. This the school's 29th appearance and an all-time record of 32-21 with 6 titles to their credit. Of course, 4 of those under the tutelage of Coach Brown, who coached one of the highest-scoring girls basketball players ever in the state, Jaylee Oglesby. And if you take a look at the starters for Howe, and again, they are a team loaded with scores. Josie Peterson, a 5'7" senior, averaging 9 points, 4 boards per game. While joining her in the backcourt, Riley Scarberry. Scarberry, the 5'6" junior, who averages 9 points per contest, and a 5'6" senior guard, the leading scorer so far this season for Howe, Slady Joe Free. That's a state tournament name if I've ever heard one. 14 points per game. Taking a look at the bigs, they have a pair of 5'11" seniors, Brianna Wan, who averages just under 6 points and 5 boards per game, and Cadence Delt, who is getting some Division II looks, nearly averaging a double-double this season with 11 points and 9.7 boards per game. Taking a look at Vanoss, the Lady Wolves, 28-2 on the year, number 5 in the state. Coach Hurt has been the head coach of Vanoss basketball since 2012. His wife is the head coach of East Central women's basketball, and he has over 500 wins to his credit. Taking a look at the backcourt, they're led by a 5'8" senior in Lainey Myers. Myers averaging 4.5 points per game. As a 5'8" freshman in Mason Cox. Cox averaging 6.5 points per game. And then some size, a 5'10" freshman in Kinley Delosier. Delosier just over 5 points per contest. A 5'10" senior in Zoe Cagle, who averages 6 points per game. And a 6-foot senior in Libby Ellis, who averages 8.5 points per contest. Of course, could get a little bit confusing. Both teams' team colors, red and white. Vanoss, though, sporting the black, and it will be Vanoss donning the road red jerseys, black trim. For Howe, it is the home white jerseys with the red numerals and lettering. And, any final thoughts before we get this one underway? We talked a lot about pace.
And I think the interesting thing for me will be is how Howe's big girls inside can score against Ellis. They've got two really good ones inside, and see if Ellis can contain both of them.
Be interesting to see how things pace out here. Again, you look at the numbers, the thing that stands out offensively, they're very similar. We talked about Vanoss's defense. Their offense not chopped liver. They're averaging 60 points per game.
Yeah, but they're going to hang their hat on the defensive end. Yeah, that's where they're going to win this game if they win it today.
If you allow only 28 points per game through 30 games in a season, that's pretty impressive. Vanoss winning the opening tip and our 2A title game underway. It's Cox with the basketball, top of the key, feeds it high post right. And already trapped up, out of trouble with it is Delosier. Back up top into the hands of Cox, dribbling with the right hand. You mentioned very deliberate approach on offense. They've already milked 20 seconds off of the game clock here.
Howe starting out in a big 3-2 zone to start this.
And here's an open left wing three. That one rattles around, a miss by Myers. And a tie up for the rebound underneath. Possession arrow in favor with Howe as we see our first lockup between Ellis and Delt. So now Vanoss showing 3/4 length of the court man-to-man pressure. Bringing it across midcourt. Scarberry now into the upper right corner of the court. Howe's first offensive possession of the game. Little high post motion with a bounce pass up top to Juan. Now they'll feed it down low to Delt. Left block. Has it swapped away by Delosier. And on the run with the steal is Cox at the right side of the floor. Comes to a stop on the right wing. Squares. Fires a three. Clinks it off the glass. Missing iron and everything. Rebound by Peterson.
It's going to be a big deal if Howe's going to run that zone, whether or not Vanoss can make some outside shots.
Delt pull up from the left elbow, missing the 15-footer. Rebound loose on the floor. Delt comes up with it. Now back into the half court. Here's, got to say the name, Slately Joe Free. I love that name.
It's a great name. It's a great name.
Comes away with 20-plus points tonight, and she'll make it into the all-name team at the state tournament. Delt, top of the key, sporting the left leg sleeve. Down low feed. Back to Delt down the right side. Can't connect off the right block. And the backside rebound hauled in by Delosier, who'll bring it left to right up the floor for Vanoss in the road red jerseys. Cox trying to bounce it through traffic there as the ball is kicked. I believe it went off the foot of Scarberry out of bounds, or not out of bounds, just blown dead for a kick ball. Delosier inbounding on the near sidelines. Still no score. So we talked about pace. The first 2 minutes has gone Vanoss's way as Howe creates a turnover. Still by Slatey Joe Free, and Free at the top of the key. Loses it, regains control. Had to adjust her knocky there. Is not securely on her foot. Weaving into the lane and a pass up top. Scarberry now to Delt. Right side of the lane goes back to Scarberry. Left corner attacking baseline. Rejected at the rim by Ellis. Gets out to Delt, who sinks a 15-footer for the first points of the game. Howe with an early 2-0 lead, and it's Free with a steal and a coast-to-coast finish.
That's back-to-back steals.
The pick six. And a 4-0 lead for Howe. 30-second timeout by Coach Hurt. We'll leave it right here. As Coach Hurt trying to take an opportunity to recalibrate. That turnover there, though, happening in the front court. You and I were talking about this a moment ago off air. You know, you can have turnovers, but the worst ones are the ones that are actual steals. And in that case, we got to see Slatey Joe Free win a foot race, 3/4 lengths of the court, finish with an easy lay-in.
As a coach, those are the ones you want to get. You know, you want to get the ones that don't go out of bounds. You want to get the ones that you get to steal and you can get out in transition. I think it's one thing to look at right here is Howe's running high-low. You know, they're bringing Ellis up high and then flashing somebody low with a smaller defender. So I think that's something to look at. Coach Brown. He's got a pretty good game plan right now, I think.
Well, and you look at the overall height advantage here is in Howe's favor. Howe with a couple of 6-footers, 5'11" down low, so they're able to work against that. Here's a pass over the top of Delosier, gets out of bounds. 3 straight turnovers now for Vanoss. So whatever Coach Hurt said a moment ago might not have resonated. You got to love those moments, don't you?
Yeah, it makes you look good, doesn't it?
Free will work it up the floor, bouncing it past the trap to Scarberry. Scarberry downhill underneath the basket. Kick pass, right wing 3. Peterson's 3 in and out. Rebound loose underneath. Finally secured by Juan. Out to Free, who knocks down a 3. 5 points now for Slady Joe Free, and it's a 7-0 Howe lead.
You might get to call her name a lot tonight.
Starting to look like it. He's already had a steal and a basket and a 3-pointer here. First 3 of the game. High post feed to Cagle. Kick out left side. Ellis's 3 won't go. Rebound. Tapped up into the air by Delter. 3rd board of the game. Passes out right side, and across midcourt comes Peterson. Finds Free in the midcourt circle as we near the midway point of this first quarter. Vanoss is still yet to score. Scarberry feeds Delt, now down low to Juan. Juan travel. That time Ellis stayed down low with Juan, and Juan commits the traveling violation, had nowhere to go.
Yeah, they made a change right there. Ellis just stayed with the one that stayed low instead of going high.
The thing of that is, we've already seen Delt knock down a 15-footer. It may be a pick your poison type choice for Coach Hurt.
I think you're right. Delt can really shoot it.
Cagle had it. Now kicks it out up top. Into the corner. Delosier wants a 3. That one hits the top of the backboard. Rebound picked up on the run by Juan. Now she'll kick it back to Free, who'll bring it across. Pass to Delt. Delt, hesitation. Pull up 15-footer in and around the cylinder, but a miss. Delosier with the rebound, her 2nd of the game. Outlet up the left half of the floor. As Macy Parks checked in, by the way, during that timeout called by Coach Hurt. Free the other direction. Pull up from 10, right side, miss. Fighting for the rebound, Delosier, who rips it away from the bigger Delt.
I really like Delosier's game as a freshman. I noticed Thursday, I think she plays a really good pace.
Delosier off the right wing. Feeds it down low to Cagle. Cagle. Kick out back to the left wing. Driving Mason Cox. She'll drop it off to Cagle. In on 3 defenders. Do they call a foul or a type? A type it is. Stays with Vanoss.
House changed from their 3-2. Now they're in a 2-3. Just give them just a little bit different look.
How effective is that? Just to switch it up just a little bit to basically change the line of sight.
Just more than anything, it's where you attack it from, you know. You attack a 3-2 differently than you're going to attack a 2-3. So
Ellis with the miss and getting to the other end, Free, who finds a cutting Scarberry for an easy basket and an assist. A 9-0 start to this game for the Howe Lady Lions. Here's a 3, and this one splashes through. Finally, Vanoss with something to cheer about as Zoe Cagle knocks down the right of circle 3.
Vanoss is going to have to make some threes. I don't know what they are right now, about 1 for 6, but
yeah,
they're going to have to make some.
Not been pretty so far. Peterson to Delt. At the free throw stripe, knocks down the 15-footer. Delt with 4 points and 3 boards so far. It's 11-3, Howe in front. Off the left wing is Cagle. Down into the corner, back to Cagle. Left wing, 3 on the way, and she knocks down back-to-back threes. Coach Brown goes, why are we giving so much space? Timeout on the floor. We'll take a quick 30. Back after this, Howe up by 5 at the 2A Girls State Championship, being streamed on Squirtle and across the Sports Animal platforms. Welcome back, everyone. 11-6 our score. Howe leading Vanoss. Jay Lindley along with championship coach Kevin Llewellyn. I'm going to keep saying that all day long because I know it makes you uncomfortable.
But
you got 9 rings, man.
Well,
I've only got 3, and I had to earn those as a play-by-play broadcaster for a small college.
I've coached some really good girls in my years of coaching, that's for sure.
Now, sometimes it's not always the X's and O's, but we will continue this X's and O's conversation we were having a moment ago. Dealt at the top of the key here. Moves it to Free, gets downhill, kicks it left side into the hands of Scarberry, goes through her hands out of bounds. We're talking about changing up defenses just to change what the offense sees. It's amazing in my time of doing this, even at the collegiate level where you've got a different level of athlete, how those little tweaks and changes can throw off a team that's really hot, at least for 2 or 3 possessions.
There's no doubt about that. And he went back to the 3-2 after they made the 2 threes against the 2-3. He went back to the 3-2 on that possession right there.
And Delozier got into the lane, got a decent look, but was contested by Delt. And now Free driving, delivered a pass low, got back on top of it, a tie ball to call, and the possession arrow in favor of Howe. There's Howe with a couple of Division II recruits. Vanoss unofficially couldn't find anything recruiting-wise.
I'm sure Ellis has some offers.
She's
a really – yes, yeah.
Here's Delt, down low. Turnaround jumper, that one left short. But the putback effort goes for Lexi Scarberry.
She just checked in. She had a really good game on Thursday. She made some big baskets for them against Riverside.
Scarberry, only a sophomore. 13-6 our score. Down in the right corner, it's Cagle to Ellis along the baseline. Ellis just lobs over Delt, then Delt bats it away out of bounds. It stays with the Lady Wolves with 40.5 seconds remaining here in the first. Remember, though, Howe started this game off on a 9-0 run. It's been even basketball since then. As here's a 3, and this one, nothing but net for Zoe Cagle.
All three of them, all 9 points.
Now it's back to a 4-point game. Said that Vanoss was going to have to hit some threes to stay in it. Zoe Cagle has answered the call.
She has definitely done that. She's kept them close here.
Staley Joe Free from an NBA range bomb. That one a miss off to the right. Cagle with the rebound. Driving, pass to Delozier in the corner. Back out to a trailing Ellis. That 3 won't go. And Free with the rebound. And time will expire on this first quarter. So a competitive first. Howe after the fast start. Vanoss outscoring the Lady Lions down the back stretch. It's a 4-point game, 13-9. Howe in front. Back after this on Squirtle and across the Sports Animal streaming platforms.
Need insurance that serves you and not the other way around? At Brining Insurance, we're independent, which means we work for you, not the carriers. Home, auto, business, or farm, we work as hard as you do. Whether you need a hand-finding and portable insurance for your church, someone to help wrestle that school policy, or someone to help plug the leaks in your municipal coverage, get a hold of Robert Wagner. He can help. Call 580-628-2559 today or start your quote anytime at brininginsure.com.
Alva State Bank and Trust Company. Older than Oklahoma, big enough to serve you, and small enough to know you. We've been around since 1901, proudly serving the communities of Northwest Oklahoma and Southern Kansas. We are making banking easy. Whether you're at home, in the office, or waiting for the next quarter to start, our online or mobile banking options help you to juggle busy schedules and financial needs. So stop by and see us at any of our locations in Alva, Burlington, Freedom, Enid, and Kiowa, Kansas. We plant roots where others have branches. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Second quarter is upon us. Vanoss fans on their feet to begin this second. After falling behind 9-0 early, they're down only by 4 as we begin the second. And the Lady Wolves have the ball to begin this second quarter. Jay Lindley alongside Coach Kevin Llewellyn here at the OG&E Coliseum.
See if Howe starts to shade their zone a little bit more towards Cagle. There's another steal.
Now poke from behind Scarberry and then pass back to Scarberry, streaking for a left-hand lay-in.
That was a tough finish.
Yeah, she had so much steam, she was almost underneath the backboard as she released that one on the left side. Vanoss very deliberately setting up into the offensive half court. It's Delosier to Cagle down along the right baseline. Back out to Cox. Right wing extended to Cagle again, who's responsible for all 9 points. Finds shooter in the lane and Park unable to connect. Delt comes away with her 4th rebound of the contest. Pressured by Delosier. She'll pass right side to Peterson. Back to Delt. Right wing 3. And Delt now has 7 points in the game. Howe opens up the second on a 5-0 start. Cagle passing to Parks, and she knocks down a 3.
Well, we said they're going to have to hit some threes, and that's all they've hit so far.
About to say, they've made 4 field goals. They've all been from beyond the arc. And they're within 6. Peyton Cormer in the game, Carly Duvall in the game, who has it now. Left wing, 3 on the way for Howe. That one a miss. Baseline rebound by Peterson. Second chance opportunity here for the Lady Lions. Scarberry. Backpedals out, midcourt circle, shoves it to the right with a one-arm pass, finding Peterson. To Delt, right side to the lane. Double clutch move, draws a foul on Delosier. And we'll have our first free throws of the afternoon, or the midday, I should say.
Yeah, that first quarter, was really...
It's dead up noon.
Dead up noon. First quarter was really well played, both teams. Not a lot of reaching and hacking and slapping, so it was good.
Delt knocking down the first of 2. I have to admit my clock is a little bit off, and it's not because of the time change. Wasn't expecting to do these 2 games until late last night, so I did a little late night crashing on Howe and Vanoss basketball as Cadence Delt hits both free throws. Slady Joe Free back into the game, and it's a 3-2 zone look here for Howe. Delosier feeding Mason Cox. She'll miss from the free throw stripe. Tie up underneath as Cagle got tied up with Duvall, I believe.
Vanoss has got some really good looks from the high post against that 3-2. They just haven't made any of them yet. If that starts to go in, this will get a lot tighter, I think.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's been, other than the few turnovers that happened really early in this game, it's not been a fact of Vanoss not getting it into the front court. It's just been a fact of not making shots.
Yep.
Delt, right elbow, feed down low. And that shot missed twice by Alexi Scarberry, and then a foul.
I think Delosier picked up her second right there.
Scarberry had a point-blank range look and somehow missed it. Got her on rebound and then went back up. They end up calling that one on Mason Cox. Vanoss, 2 team fouls here in the second. Couple of changes for Coach Brown as back into the game comes Brianna Wan. He'll set Cadence Delt. Also setting Briley Scarberry. And a rebound off of the missed free throw by Free, and again unable to connect at the line with Scarberry, Lexi Scarberry. You got 2 Scarberries out there.
Ellis has changed those shots down underneath the last 2 or 3 times. She's guarded down low, and she's changed the angle they've had to shoot it from.
With the basketball for Vanoss, it's Cox moving it left side. 3 on the way from Parks. That one a miss. And Slady Joe Free with the rebound. Quick pass ahead to Duvall down in the right corner. Howe moving right to left here in front of us in the home whites as Free back out to the midcourt circle. Moves it left side to Peterson, back to Free off the left wing. Up top to Juan. She'll move it right side. Duvall had it poked loose, regains control, almost throws it away. Ball loose, picked up on the dribble by Peterson near midcourt. Now puts it back on the hardwood, avoiding the 5-second count. Goes high post to Juan. Back out to Duvall, and Duvall traveled at the top of the key.
Vanoss ratcheted up the pressure right there a little bit. They got up a little tighter on that possession than they have been.
Well, they were basically one mishandle there from having their own little pick six score because that ball was out at midcourt. If Al's not able to keep control of it, might have been a different story. Free Sliding a pass loose, but it's recovered by Ellis. She'll pass it right side to Cox. Back to Ellis. Left wing three. That one won't go. Rebound hauled in by Lexi Scarberry, and then a foul underneath. This foul goes against Mason Cox, and it's her second. The third team foul against Vanoss. As back into the game comes Cadence Delt and Briley Scarberry.
If you're Coach Hurt, you've got to like the shots that Ellis is getting. She hadn't knocked any down yet, but she's getting really good looks.
And they've been really clean on the three-point look she has taken. Just none of them have gone in yet. Of course, yesterday played in Yukon, played their opening round game here at the OG&E Coliseum. Delt forces a pass down low, and it's stolen by the taller Ellis. And then a reciprocal foul called on Lexi Scarberry.
I'd just like to see Delt shoot that again. She was open from the high post. She's made two from there already. Just shoot it again.
How often do you have that conversation with a player about thinking too much?
All the time. All the time. You know, and she was trying to make the unselfish play, but sometimes the unselfish play is just making the play yourself.
Yeah. It don't hurt to be selfish sometimes. Delosier down in the left corner. Able to find Parks, and Parks steps inside the left arc as Parks now has 5 points in the game. In the first quarter, it was Zoe Cagle with all 9 points. Here in the second, it's been Macy Parks off of the bench with all 5 as Lexi Scarberry scores underneath from a feed from Delt.
There's that unselfish play.
And that was the smart play, though, because Scarberry was wide open down on the left block. Free goes for a steal, recovered by Parks. Free guarding the perimeter. Breaking loose here, R.J. King. King with it at the top of the key. King passes left side to Ellis. Back to King. To Delosier down the right corner, attacking baseline right. Picks it up, throws it away. Tried to throw it along the baseline and didn't see Peterson lurking. Throws all the way up the left side to Free. To Lexi Scarberry, who has her shot blocked from behind by Delosier. Picked up by Cagle. Vanoss moving left to right. Pass almost gets away out of bounds from King. Now Ellis has her pass batted back by Delt, who passes all the way up the floor to Scarberry. To a trailing Lexi Scarberry, back to Delt. And 2 passes and an easy bucket for a trailing Cadence Delt with 7 of her 11 points coming here in the second quarter. Howe leading now back up by 9, 25-14. Closing in on 2 to play here in the second. Ellis, right corner 3. That one off the mark. Backside rebound, fought for, finally won by Brinley Scarberry. It was kind of shoved out by Peterson to Scarberry there. Scarberry will drive, kick the Free, left wing, find Delt. Left elbow jumper, no good. Gets her own rebound. Drop step to the rim and unable to finish, but will go to the line shooting 2.
Delt's playing with a lot of energy right now on both ends. You know, she's running the point of that 3-2, and she's got her hands on a lot of passes, and I don't know how many rebounds you've got her for, but she's got quite a few.
Got her with 4. Well, actually 5 after that one because she got her own rebound. And her first missed free throw of the day. She'd hit 2 earlier. My scorecard a little bit different than what they have on the scoreboard as well. I have Delt setting with 11 as she misses both free throws here. Up the right half of the floor, spinning and getting to the rim and scoring is Macy Parks. I did not have Macy Parks, the 5'10 sophomore, putting on such a show to begin this second quarter. Scarberry, rebound underneath, kick out to Delt. Now they'll set it back up. Howe down to Lexi Scarberry, missing at the rim. Delt can't get the putback. The rebound picked up on the run by Delosier. Up the right half of the floor, pumps the pass, closing in on a minute to play. Pass over the defense finds Dally Carlos. Now to Delosier, right of circle, looked at a 3. Delt came out to try and block that shot and kick it into the corner. 3 on the way from Ellis, still hasn't had to make from there. But Carlos had the offensive rebound, loses it, picked up by Scarberry, who is then blocked. Coach Hurt, frustrated, bounces the ball viciously twice, lost control of it once.
Jamie Osterhout did a really good job right there of going to get the ball from Coach Hurt, the official, before that thing bounced up maybe to the scoreboard.
Yeah. So to the free throw line, Riley Scarberry, she hits the first of 2 free throws. The argument being made by Coach Hurt on the far side of the court that little forearm extension.
And he might have had an argument there.
Might have.
The offense created a lot of that contact.
That one goes in and out, but dealt with another rebound. And Howe back into the offensive set. Free with it now, out on the State Fair logo. Passes right side. And an errant pass from Scarberry. She was trying to get it into Juan, and it's a steal for Vanoss. Lady Wolves down by 10 with less than 30 seconds to go here till halftime. Ellis on the OSSAA logo moves it right side to Carlos. Back up over the defense to Ellis. They'll swing it around to the left side. Delosier, clean look at the left corner. 3. That a miss. Dealt with another rebound. 9 seconds. She'll hand off to Free. Free across midcourt with 5 seconds to go. Free weaving through traffic. Passes right down to Delt, right side of the lane. And at the buzzer, Delt scores. Howe will take their largest advantage of the game in at the halftime break. Lady Lions, number 2 in the state, 28. Vanoss setting here with only 16. Coming up, we'll take a look at the halftime numbers after this. It is the 2A Girls Championship halftime show from the OG&E Coliseum, being heard here on Squirtle and across the Sports Animal streaming platform.
The proof starts here at Upper Crust. The details are deliberate, perfectly on purpose. From that warm greeting to the wood-fired smoky char of our signature pies. Upper Crust, gather round.
Martin's Machine Shop, a family-owned business since 1974, serves Oklahoma, Kansas, and Texas. They offer full machine shop, welding, and metal working capabilities for repair and fabrication. Their fluid power division repairs hydraulic cylinders, pumps, motors, and valves, and includes a full inventory of 6,000 PSI hose and fittings. Give them a call at 580-227-2734 or connect through their website, www.martinsmachineshop.com, to see how they can assist you today.
Our brand, Octus Legacy Private Wealth Management, is a reflection on our commitment to our clients, each other, and the growth we hope to achieve. As friends for multiple years, we operate like a tight-knit family where harmony and collaboration thrive. Our dedicated team of financial professionals complement each other, drawing on decades of shared experience. With a keen eye for detail, we understand each other's strengths, allowing us to deliver quality service. Our camaraderie extends beyond the workplace. We connect as friends, checking in over the weekends to stay connected. Our bond transcends the typical 9-to-5 workday, reflecting our commitment to genuine relationship. To become a client today, call us at 405-252-5925.
As you travel down the road to the gold ball, know that you can always get a slam dunk of a deal at Jansen GMC on North Van Buren in Enid. It's always a smooth ride in a 2020 GMC Sierra, Canyon, Yukon, Terrain, or Acadia. Jansen's offers one of the best lineups of used cars, trucks, crossovers, and SUVs in Enid. Check JansenGMC.com for details. Drive a little, save a lot at Jansen GMC, 2602 North Van Buren in Enid.
When life takes an unexpected turn, you need someone who truly understands what you're going through. At Nixon Dieselhorst, we've spent decades helping Oklahomans find justice, standing up for what's right, and fighting for the results they deserve. Every client matters. Every story deserves to be heard. We are here standing with you. Call Nixon Dieselhorst today because justice, integrity, and results aren't just words. They're what we stand for.
Born and raised in Edmond, Oklahoma, Trevor Randall is very familiar with the area and the Oklahoma economy. Trevor enjoys helping customers just like you identify the insurance coverage that best fits their needs, with over 19 years of experience to help you better understand the options, whether that's auto, home, renters, business insurance, and more. So give Randall Insurance Agency a call at 405-341-7878 and let us help you get the protection you need with the service you deserve.
Dr. Devin Nightingale is your chiropractic choice in North Edmond with easy access from Cashion, Guthrie, Luther, and all the Oklahoma City surrounding areas. As a former college athlete, Dr. Nightingale understands the importance of a fully functioning body to gain that competitive edge. Also certified in prenatal and pediatric treatments, Dr. Nightingale sees all types of patients, ranging from 2 weeks old to 97 years old. We offer conservative treatments to get you back in the game, whether you're a weekend warrior or a professional athlete. So give us a call at 405-471-5565 for a free consultation today.
We show up every day, ready. When tragedy strikes, we're prepared. It's what we do, it's who we are. Community is the heart of rural healthcare. We come together on some of the worst days because we're holding hope that together we'll experience the best days too.
Welcome back, everyone, here on radio or internet row, whatever it is nowadays, at the OG&E Coliseum. Jay Lindley alongside championship coach Kevin Llewellyn. I've been told that they may rename the Bertha Frank Teague the Kevin Llewellyn Invitational and move it to Lomega.
I doubt that ever happens. Adam kids me all the time that the only tournament I'll ever have named after me is maybe a fishing tournament.
How the Lady Lions up 28-16 over Vanoss. I was actually told you wouldn't make it today because you would be fishing, but hey, the weather's nice outside, and this, by the way, is my final broadcast of the 25-26 season, at least until football. So I see a lot of fishing and golf coming up in my future as well once I wrap this one up today. We talked a lot in the pregame about pace, and at times I thought Vanoss was able to control the pace a little bit. I would say, though, out of 16 total minutes played, they controlled the pace for approximately 7 of that. But when Howe has gotten going, which they did to end the first half, everything's pretty much gone in Howe's favor to this point.
Yeah, we talked earlier before the game about the inside game for Howe, and I think those two girls have done a really good job. Ellis has changed some shots down there, but they've done a really good job on the offensive glass. And, Delt stepped out and made a couple of shots from the outside and then finished down low. Howe's had a pretty good game plan so far.
Well, so far, you look at the statistics. You and I were talking about this off air. And you look at it, Howe only shooting 37% from the field. They were 11 of 30 for their 28 points. And Vanoss, 6 of 20 from the field for 30%. But that's 10 more shot attempts as Howe in that first half out-rebounded Vanoss 28-8 with 14 offensive rebounds. They have 10 second-chance points to Vanoss's none. And that's a big reason why you see the scoreboard as it is right now, Howe leading by 12.
Yeah, I thought, in the second quarter, Coach Brown subbed a little bit, maybe kept them a little fresher, maybe. I thought Howe was quicker to the basketball.
Take a look at the scoring so far. Vanoss, their top player, Livy Ellis, is yet to score in this game. Ellis 0 for 6 from the field and really has been negated on the glass. No rebounds as well. Matter of fact, all the scoring done by only 2 players for Vanoss. It was Zoe Cagle in the first quarter, 9 points, going 3 of 3 from beyond the arc. And then it was Macy Parks off of the bench in the second, scoring all 7 of her team's points in that second quarter. Whereas Howe, on the other hand, Howe has had 5 or 4 different players score. Lexi Scarberry coming off of the bench. She has 5 points to go along with 8 rebounds, 7 of those on the offensive glass, going 2 of 9 from the field. Some of her own rebounds there. And Cadence Delt, who we've talked about ad nauseum, 7 rebounds in the game so far for Delt. She's got 4 on the offensive glass, 3 on the defensive glass, and 5 of 10 from the field, 4 of 9 from 2, and 1 of 1 from beyond the arc. If there is a blemish, if there was one to be had, 2 of 4 from the free throw line, but she's a big reason why Howe right now in control of this game by 12.
Yeah, watching her shoot those 2 free throws that she missed, I bet she hadn't missed 2 free throws in a row very many times in her life.
No. And I would imagine closing out this game and looking for her first ever state title, she may not miss again. We'll see. Up by 12 here at the break, 28-16, second-ranked Howe leading fifth-ranked Vanoss. We'll be back with the start of the second half after this on Squirtle and across the Sports Animal streaming platforms.
East River Roustabout, centrally located in Oklahoma, provides construction services specifically tailored for oilfield projects. Our team consists of highly skilled, experienced professionals who offer a wide range of services in construction, maintenance, and operations, focusing on both upstream and midstream sectors. With a combined 44 years of experience in pipeline and roustabout services, our team leads have a proven track record of success for major energy companies. So call the team at East River Roustabout today, 405-849-5156.
Farming today isn't just about hard work. It's about making smart choices. That's where Correction Line Ag and BW Fusion step in. We're redefining crop nutrition with cutting-edge biology that delivers real results. Stop relying on outdated methods. It's time for a fresh approach. CLA delivers data-driven solutions tailored for every growth stage, boosting your farm's ROI. Ready to get started? Call 833-CLA-SOIL or visit correctionlineag.com. Smarter farming starts here.
For over a century, Sooner Plains Ag has been at the heart of our communities. Sooner Plains Ag is proud to support all area students and athletes from their hometowns and yours. Sooner Plains Ag is ready to service your grain, fertilizer, and farm supply needs. You can also fill up at one of their 2 convenience stores in Fairview and Mino. Sooner Plains Ag is honored to serve their member owners in their 4-county area for more than 100 years. Sooner Plains Ag, farmers helping farmers. It's that simple.
Welcome back, everyone, to a Girls State Basketball Championship. Second half is here. Jay Lindley alongside championship coach Kevin Llewellyn and also our on-site producer Josh Nelson. Vanoss down by 12. They have the ball to begin the second half, and Coach Hurt trotting out his original starting 5. As with it here is Myers, who played limited minutes in that first half. Has Delosier, moves it right side. Cox. Of course, Ellis scoreless in that first half. They feed Cagle in the high post. You talked about how deliberate they were. I thought Howe did a good job of speeding Vanoss up a little bit late in that first half. As here's an air ball from Myers that didn't even touch the net, goes out of bounds.
Now Vanoss is going to come out in a little full court pressure here. See if they can maybe get an easy basket.
Really a design press, just man to man, and up the left side goes Scarberry. Now into a trap, finds Free, wings one into the corner. Retrieved by Peterson, and now to Delt. Just off the left wing, up top, finds Free. Backpedaling out, midcourt circle. Minute into this third quarter, and how their first possession of the second half. 3 on the way, and that first possession ends with Josie Peterson's first points of the contest. A right wing 3 that pushes it to their largest advantage of the afternoon. Up by 15 now.
That was a really good set run there by Coach Brown. Had a pick and roll on that right wing and came off there and made a pretty tough shot.
Cagle down along the baseline. Free jumps into a passing lane. Pass was intended to go up top to Myers. Scarberry downhill to Free. They'll find Delt, left elbow. Bounces it down low. In the hands of Juan, and now again, Juan scores, and Coach Hurt wants another timeout. Minute and a half into this third quarter, Vanoss burns the timeout, and they take a 60. So we'll take 60 to rest my throat here for a moment. Back after this, Howe up big. You're listening to it on Squirtle and across the Sports Animal streaming platforms.
Ready to get back in the game? Great news. The movement experts at Physical Therapy Central can help you find relief and results and keep you off the sidelines. With over 30 convenient locations across Oklahoma City and beyond, contact PT Central today at ptcentral.org to see a physical therapist.
Stream like the pros with Squirtle Live. Find out more at squirtle.com/stream.
Well, welcome back, everyone. 33-16 Howe, the Lady Lions, looking for their 7th title in school history. And they are well on their way. A 5-0 start to begin this third quarter. Vanoss came out showing pressure, but it is Howe with a quick 5-0 run to begin the third. Cagle losing it while driving to the basket. Jump ball the call as she got locked up with Juan, and the possession arrow in favor of Howe. Vanoss, we haven't really talked a lot about the Lady Wolves. This is their 3rd finals appearance. Runner-up finish in 21 under Coach Hurt. Still looking for their one title.
This Vanoss group, seniors and freshmen that are playing here mostly. Kind of a weird mix to not have any sophomores or juniors out there, but the future looks pretty bright for them.
Dealt. Shot was blocked by Delosier. So Howe keeps possession of the basketball. Inbounding baseline left. Slady Joe Free. Free, who has 5 points in the game, but it came really in the first 2 minutes of the contest. It's been the Cadence Delt show so far this afternoon. As here's Free with the basketball. Works off of a screen, drifts to the right. Now back top of the key, trying to find Juan down the right side, and now tying up with it is Macy Parks. This time the possession arrow in favor of the Lady Wolves. So Vanoss gets the turnover they needed. Now can they get some points? Something that have been a premium here. Cagle got all the way into the lane and got into the land of the Giants. Had to reposition a shot past Juan. Dealt with the rebound. Scarberry looks at a 3 off the left wing. Takes it to the right elbow. Kick to Free, who'll bring it back up top during the midway point of this third quarter. Free with it now. Finds Delt top of the key. Delt back to the right wing. Scarberry out to defend is Parks. Now it's Howe running a very deliberate set here. They free up Scarberry off the left wing, but she lost control of it, and now will dribble it up top, give it to Juan, top of the key, back to Free on the OSSAA logo. They have eaten up now 45 seconds of game clock. Feed inside, back to Delt at the free throw line, down the right side of the lane, move back to the left, and a timeout taken by Coach Chris Brown, a 30-second timeout. We'll go ahead and leave it right here. Coach Brown right now is up by 17 points, and it'll lead me to this question as I have a fellow championship coach. Please recall a time that you made a dumb timeout.
Oh, God, there's been so many, you know.
How many of those does something like that happen where you go, and I completely understand why. They gotten stagnant on offense. They weren't really moving the ball well. Delt ends up with a double move back to the rim. She scores, but it's waved off because of the timeout.
You know, I think probably people that watch me coach a lot will probably tell you that I go the other way. I don't call enough timeouts, and I make dumb decisions by not calling a timeout sometimes.
Honesty's the best policy. Inbound, top of the key, 3. That one a miss by Slately Joe Free, and it gets away out of bounds. Vanoss will have it. Length of the floor to go. So up the left half of the floor comes Vanoss, and it's Mason Cox to Ellis, who is still scoreless in this game.
Halfway through the quarter, Vanoss hadn't scored yet.
Wow. Delosier, top of the key, moves it left side, 3 on the way. This one from Parks, a miss. And a backside uncontested rebound for Peterson and Howe. Peterson passes up the floor, finds Free. Free jetting up the right side, gets downhill, right block, goes up, misses the layup. Rebound lost out of bounds. They'll say last touch by Brianna Juan. Vanoss here still has not found any offense, and Ellis continues to be cold. Another miss. She's 0 for 7 now in this game. Pass left side. Carlos, left corner three. And she connects. So Carlos finally breaks the ice here in the third for Vanoss. Three from the left corner. That one a miss from Peterson. Backside rebound by Carlos. Passing at the left side, Parks down the left side, trying to finish with the right hand, and pins it between the iron and the glass. Ball stuck up there.
Be Howe's basketball. That was a really, really good move, and on a lot of goals that would have went in, I think. I mean, I've seen the ball stuck in here 2 or 3 times. I don't know if it's just a brand new basketball that's got so much grip on it or what it is, but
we saw it yesterday, one of the title games, where literally a baseline jumper from about 6 just softly caught in there and stuck, like you said. Typically, something like that, especially with the English she was putting on it, using the right hand on the left side, you would think it would have probably at least got up and on top of the rim, but it didn't. And as you mentioned, because of it being pinned between the iron and the glass, the jump ball possession arrow in favor of Howe. So Howe with it now up 33-19. Delt going to work. Literally hands it to a driving Scarberry, and Lexi Scarberry scores again. 35-19. Ellis feeds Delozier. Kick pass right side, intended for Carlos, batted into the air, out of bounds by Briley Scarberry. Delozier will inbound. With the basketball is Cox. Mason Cox picking up the dribble, goes left side into the hands of Parks. Back to Carlos, responsible for the only points in this quarter for Vanoss. That's been a theme here for Vanoss. Ellis to Carlos, left corner three. That one a miss.
That might be the craziest stat I've ever heard.
And finally, basket goes for Ellis. So Ellis finally able to get into the score column, hits a three. Got another crazy stat for you. So far in this game, there have been 10 made field goals. 8 made field goals for Vanoss. 6 of them have been from downtown. Only 2 two-point baskets here today for Vanoss. They're only down by 13. Lexi Scarberry out up top to Delt. To Free, working off of a high pick, a miss. And Carlos with the rebound. Vanoss trying to put together a little run to end the third quarter. As Free jumps into a passing lane. Great steal, saves it as she went in to the Vanoss bench. And now Peterson back to Scarberry. Scarberry finding Delt down low, fouled by Ellis at the rim. And Ellis just picked up her second personal foul. And Delt, who's been scoreless here in the third, goes to the line shooting 2.
Free anticipates as good as any girl I've seen in a long time. She's gotten her hands on a lot of passes and got a lot of steals today. She's really good defensively.
Delt's first attempt here goes in. Her first points of the second half after pacing the offense with 13 first half points. Lining up her second, and she connects. 4 of 6 from the free throw line today, and that stops a 6-0 run by Vanoss and pushes the lead back out to 15 points. In the corner, high arcing three, and there's another three for Vanoss. Macy Parks, as 3 different players have scored for Vanoss here in the third after having only 2 players score in the first half. They've all been 3-pointers. It's back to a 12-point game. It's driving, losing it. Here's Delt. Delt shot partially blocked by Ellis, and then a travel along the baseline. Mason Cox. And that brings the Vanoss fans on their feet. Coach Hurt saying that she was fouled along the baseline. Really don't know.
I don't know.
I feel like I'm a long way away to say, but I feel he is too. Inbound to Delt. They find Free in the corner, missing the three-pointer. Backside rebound, hauled in by Juan. Or not Juan, excuse me, hauled in by Parks. Is now out to Carlos, right wing three. That one to miss. Scarberry with another rebound. It's loose off the Delt's foot, out of bounds. Only 1 second remains here in the third. And after Howe led by as many as 17 here in this third quarter, we head to the fourth with the same differential as we had at the break. A missed three at the buzzer. It's a 12-point Howe lead, 37-25. We head to the fourth with the 2A Girls State Basketball Championship right here on Squirtle and across the Sports Animal streaming platforms.
It's your grass kingdom, your green canvas, your fairway to heaven. It deserves the Kubota Z400. With class-leading speed, agility, a powerful transmission, simple deck height adjustments, and legendary Kubota quality. When you need comfort, convenience, and performance, then you need the professional-grade Kubota Z400. Visit your local Kubota dealer today.
The future comes fast, which is why it's important to start planning for tomorrow, today. So whether you're setting aside money for something special or just safeguarding it against a rainy day, at Gateway, we've got competitive rates on a full suite of savings products. So consider us your gateway to earning money on your money. Open a high-yield savings account with an annual percentage yield of 3.5%. Visit gatewayfirst.com. Gateway First Bank, member FDIC.
Welcome back, everyone. Howe led by 17 in that third quarter yet. It's still a 12-point game as we enter the fourth. The big reason for that, 3 3-pointers in the third for Vanoss. 7 of their 9 field goals made today have been from downtown. And it's really the only thing saving them right now.
Yep, that's for sure. And, you know, they're only down 12 and haven't shot the basketball great. I think they're going to try to speed it up a little bit to start this fourth quarter and see if they can get some easier looks.
Howe, though, stretching out that zone a little bit. It is Carlos on the floor with Parks. Carlos and Parks both coming off of the bench. They've done the bulk of scoring. Here's a three on the way from Parks. That one a miss. Delosier tips up the rebound, but it's secured by Peterson for Howe. Scarberry bouncing ahead to Free. The Delt in the right corner. Finds Scarberry probing into the lane, bouncing it back out up top to Slately Joe Free.
It's the same set they ran just a minute ago
and
to start the third
call
quarter.
Here, wow. Ball went to Scarberry. And it's a reach-in foul on Mason Cox. It is her third personal foul.
Howe was going to run the same set they ran when Peterson hit that three to start the third quarter right there. See if they could get the same look, I think, again.
Carlos will check out of the game. 4 different players have scored in this game for Vanoss, and 2 of them have been off of the bench. There's a lob pass inside. Lexi Scarberry this time scoring in traffic. She struggled with that in the first half, which is 2 of 9. But that time there with a defender draped on her backside, and now Free trying to steal it away. Knocked it loose from Delosier, but she was the last to touch it. So Vanoss back down by 14. Delosier along the right baseline. Passes to the left wing. Driving is Cox. Back out to Cagle, who's been quiet since the first quarter. And a left wing three drained by Macy Parks. Parks coming off of the bench, leads her team in scoring. She's got 13. And if Vanoss somehow pulls this off, it's going to be your tournament MVP. Timeout taken by Howe, a 30-second timeout. We'll take a quick breather ourselves. Howe up by 11 on Squirtle and across the Sports Animal streaming platform.
Getting to the top, serving an ace. Whether a professional or a weekend warrior, we all want to do our best. But what if you get hurt? How do you get back to doing what you love? The team at DRH Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine provide comprehensive and advanced treatment for injuries. DRH Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, working to get you moving again.
Welcome back, everyone. 39-28. Decision to be made by Howe here. They're up by 11. We're talking about this a moment ago. Continue to attack. You've struggled here in the second half offensively, or you try to salt away some of this game. Vanoss defensively wanting to pressure. And Free along the sideline steps out of bounds.
She did.
So a turnover created as Coach Brown removes the jacket, loosens the tie. Blood pressure going up on the far sidelines.
No more jackets left.
Yes. Vanoss with a chance to cut it to single digits. Ellis, top of the key, missing the three. Rebound brought in by Cox, and a foul call here. It's the first foul of the quarter against Howe. It's a non-shooting foul that goes against Slady Joe Free, her first personal.
That shot of Ellis's was down. I mean, it hit almost the bottom and then popped back out.
Just one make in this game. Unofficially, I have her as 1 of 9. That's tough to do. Your leading scorer. She has it now down in the right corner to Delosier along the right baseline. Pass over the defense, goes left wing to Cox. And a throwaway here. Picked up on the run, Scarberry has numbers. Goes down the left side and finishes with the left hand. Riley Scarberry now 7 points, her first here in the second half.
She's made 2 of those today. 2 big left-handed finishes.
And that ooh you heard from the far side crowd was Cadence dealt. And a Matumbo-like block underneath. All she needed to do was add in the finger waggle. Ellis will inbound here, baseline right. Quickly out up top to Carlos for 3. She nets home another. The bench for Vanoss responsible for 17 of 31 points with the pressure broken easily. Scarberry to Scarberry, and it's Lexi Scarberry with 6 second-half points. So every time Vanoss does something positive offensively, Howe answers right back. 3 on the way. Delosier connects, and it's down to a 9-point lead. Another timeout taken. We'll take a quick one with them. Howe 43, Vanoss 34. 5:10 to go in the fourth. Back after this on Squirtle Sports Animal streaming platforms.
This is Game Time. Neptune Game Time creates a high-energy game day atmosphere that your players and fans will love. Every song in our database is 100% lyric safe, which means you can stop screening music for good. Game Time also provides custom messaging to help you promote your upcoming events, concessions, and event-specific announcements. And it gives you the opportunity to sell sponsorships on your station that will generate revenue for your athletic department. Amp up your game day with Game Time.
If you'd asked me coming into the game which team would have 10 made three-pointers, I would have told you how. Vanoss has made 12 shots the whole game, and 10 of them are from downtown. And it's the reason that somehow, some way, they are just 3 possessions out of this right now, 43-34, after trailing by as many as 17 in the third quarter. Amazing.
Especially if I would have told you Livy Ellis would have only made 1 of those 10.
Oh, yeah, that's the other part of that equation. 17 of those points are coming off of the bench.
Yep.
So half of their points have come from players that didn't even start the game. Full court pressure applied by Vanoss. They'll break the pressure. Scarberry to Scarberry, and an ill-advised pass. She tried to get it back to Briley Scarberry. A steal. Delosier. Pass to Carlos. Right corner 3. That one almost banked in off of the glass. Cagle with the rebound. Out left wing. 3 on the way from Parks. And Parks knocks it down. She's got 14, and it's a 6-point game.
Vanoss is playing with a ton of energy right now.
This ball goes off of the foot of Carlos out of bounds. Wow. And the Vanoss crowd really starting to feel it. Even though they're down by 6. Inbound to Delt, who's been quiet here in the second half. Riley Scarberry penetrates, throws it away. Delosier with the still and numbers. 2-on-1 to Carlos down the left side. And she scores. Carlos with 8 points off of the bench. And another timeout taken. All of a sudden, it's a 4-point game. Full timeout. We step aside. Howe in front, but not in control. 43-39. Back after this on Squirtle and across the Sports Animal streaming platforms.
Student athletes push hard on the field and in the classroom. But when injuries happen, you want a physical therapist who makes recovery personal. Prime Physical Therapy is more than just a clinic. We're a faith-driven, patient-focused team committed to helping athletes bounce back stronger. Healing happens best in an environment where athletes feel supported, motivated, and yes, even have fun. Parents, you can trust us to care for your athlete like family. Call or text at 405-706-1266 for a free consultation in clinic or by phone. Prime Physical Therapy, helping athletes get back to their prime performance.
Welcome back, everyone. OG&E Coliseum, where Vanoss fans, they have life. Down by 4, and here in this fourth quarter, they have outscored Howe 14-6. Their last made basket, the first 2-pointer of the second half, by the way, by Carlos.
And that she's the smallest girl on the floor, and she's playing with the most energy right now. She's really helped Vanoss with this comeback. That and this trapping defense that they've went to has bothered Howe a lot.
Lexi Scarberry down low to a wide open Peterson, missing at the rim. The ball slapped out of bounds by Vanoss. Peterson had a gimme. There was no one down around her on the left block, and she just missed it. We're at the midway point of the fourth, and what was looking to be a blowout has turned into something. Delt left side of the lane here, needing help, bouncing it out to Free, who has not scored since the first quarter. Harassed by Carlos out in the midcourt circle. Moves it left side to Scarberry. Works off of a high pick, gets downhill, loops back out into the right corner. Now takes a body bump and a blocking foul called, and even though Vanoss fans are not going to like it, that's a blocking foul, everyone.
Yeah, that was a really good call. Yeah. That was an easy one.
The only way it could have been any more obvious had she thrown like a little hip shiv into it as well. Free will inbound baseline right to Delt. Right elbow extended. Back now to Free. Hesitates. Moves it right side to Riley Scarberry. Scarberry to Delt. Closing in on 3:30 to go. Back left side, Free bounces well beyond the right wing. Scarberry into the midcourt circle. Finds Peterson, tripped up, needs to get out of the way to Free. Free now looping up top to Delt. Delt being guarded by Cagle. Howe here taking a little bit of the momentum away unless Vanoss creates a turnover here, and now a foul on Carlos. It's the third foul here in the quarter against the Lady Wolves.
That's not the worst thing that can happen.
Not at all. A couple of changes here for Coach Hurt. Starters coming in. Laney Myers and Mason Cox. Delosier and Carlos, who has 8 points off of the bench, head to the bench. Macy Parks, who leads her team in scoring, stays out there. As here's Free, retrieves the basketball, finds Scarberry, that three from the right wing off the mark. Rebound loose, picked up on the run by Cagle. Cagle streaking coast to coast, left hand finish, and it's a 2-point game. Cagle's first point since the first quarter. It's 43-41 Howe. Howe led by 17. Just past the midway point in the third. They're now only up by 2. Lexi Scarberry blocked by Ellis. Ellis taking it out of bounds with her. So it stays with Howe.
That's one thing Vanoss has done this second half is Ellis has stayed low the whole time. On their high-low, she is not going high. They're switching it every time.
We'll go ahead and leave it right here. It's a timeout taken, 30-second timeout. Of course, now it's stretched to a full. I get caught up moving with the ball. What are they doing to Cadence Delt? Delt, no field goals here in the second half. Matter of fact, her only points have come from the free throw line.
Well, that's a lot what I was just talking about. Ellis is staying low, so whenever Delt is coming high, they're denying her the basketball. They're just switching it. Where early in the game they weren't. They were staying with their man. They were just playing straight up man defense. And now they're switching that down screen, or it's a ball screen and then a dive to the basket, and the other one's coming high. And Ellis is just staying down there. That was a big block right there. And the possession before, Peterson was open, but Ellis was flying at her. I think maybe she saw her a little bit. I mean, 6'1" with those arms coming at you as a girl is a big difference. That is a great adjustment by Coach Hurt for this second half. He's done, and we're in for a great 225 right here.
I mentioned in the pregame that Vanoss had allowed more than 30 points only 9 times this season. They've allowed 43 today, but they're in it. Down by 2 as Howe has gone cold here late. And it's Free with the basketball. Scoreless since the first quarter. Finds Scarberry, left Free, gets to the right elbow, knocks down a 15-footer.
That's a big basket right there.
Riley Scarberry with that basket. The 5'6" junior averaging 9 a game. She's best at that average. 3 from Carlos in the corner. Gets away out of bounds. And they're going to say it went off Cagle.
See if Vanoss can get a trap right here in the backcourt. They've done a pretty good job of trapping the basketball.
Scarberry across midcourt. Loops into the lane, now out to Peterson. To Delt. Harassed by Cagle. Will hand to Free. Sees a crease. Gets downhill. Sidesteps. Blocked by Ellis. Her second big block in the last 3 possessions. Cagle on the drive. Kicks it back out. Parks for 3. And is fouled by Delt. And an ill-advised foul.
Yeah, Parks has been shooting the basketball really well, so she tried to close out to her hard. And, that's one where you just try to close out a little bit short maybe.
Parks, 16 points in the game. They only have the starters on the board here for some reason. Parks has certainly had the hottest hand, but misses the first of 3 free throws.
Legs. That's what the assistant over there is telling her. Use your legs. Don't leave it short.
And the second one hits the back of the iron and ricochets off to the left. So Vanoss had 3 freebies here, and they go 0 for 2 to start it. Could have cut it down to a 1-point game. Best they can do is cut it to 3. And she misses that one as well. Dealt with a huge rebound and a missed opportunity for Vanoss. Minute 18 to go. And slightly Joe Free fouled, but that's Vanoss's 4th team foul.
Team foul 3.
And really feel for Macy Parks right now as she heads to the bench. Without what she has done off of the bench, Vanoss isn't in this game.
Oh, yeah.
But to miss 3 free throws like that weighs on you.
Yes, it does. But like you said, they wouldn't be where they're at without her.
Absolutely no doubt. You mentioned Ellis. So far in this game, only 1 field goal. That's Free. Sidearm pass, and now Lexi Scarberry fouled by Ellis. And for Ellis, that is her 3rd personal foul. So Lexi Scarberry goes to the line, 1 of 2 here this afternoon. And she hits the first of 2.
How many times have you heard that the free throws win championships?
Or cost them.
Or cost them.
I mean, what a turnabout that would be. This free throw, though, is short. So Vanoss had a chance to cut it to 1. Howe had a chance to extend it to 6. It's a 5-point lead for Howe here. 46-41, under a minute to go. Carlos, left corner 3, rims in and out. Delt stretches out her arms, secures it with both hands. Rebound, Free up the left side. And Free looping out, finds Delt in the midcourt circle to Scarberry. Time running out. Coach Hurt begging a player to come up and foul, and they finally do. And it's Slady Joe Free, who hasn't scored since the first quarter, that goes to the line. I ain't saying she can ice it, but she can make it really, really difficult. Put it by a 7-point advantage with only 34 seconds to go here.
And only one timeout for Vanoss.
She hits the first of 2. And that one is good as well. The air has been taken out of the Vanoss crowd here on the near side. It's a 7-point Howe lead. Ellis throws one up. And looked as though someone got the wrist of Ellis, but no whistle there.
No whistle. There could have been one there, maybe.
As Delt takes the pass and will work it across midcourt. And then she travels. But 15 seconds to go. And that's pretty much all but over. Howe's going to lay claim to their 7th state championship, their first since 2021, and the 5th for Coach Brown. Down to 8 seconds. Cagle on the drive. And a foul on the shot with 5.3. Cagle favoring her back here as she withers in pain down below the basket. Now Cagle helped up. Now that's the thing you feel for. I got to ask you, because I was having this conversation the other day with someone. In a situation like this, in a championship type game setting, had you rather be ran out of the gym as to that you never had a chance, or had you rather it be close but come up short? Vanoss is experiencing both sides of this today. They were down by 17. They were 3 free throws away from cutting it to a 1-point game after a miraculous comeback. They got it within 2, but they're going to leave empty-handed.
You know, for a guy like me, it doesn't make any difference which way you lose to me. I mean, you still lost. And, I mean, I think 2A girls, I told you this earlier, I think 2A girls was the most balanced class of any this year in Oklahoma. And for Vanoss to be in the finals today, you know, they beat a really good Dell team in the first round, beat a really good Latta team in the second round. There's nothing for them to hang their head about. You know, they didn't, I don't think they shot the basketball as good as they
Is it possible, with especially when you look at the fact top-ranked Dell going down to start the tournament to this Vanoss team that's going to at least appears as though they're going to go home with silver, barring something miraculous here in the last 5.3 seconds. Here's an inbound to Free. Body bump by Delosier, and 2 seconds run off, and Free will walk the distance to shoot a pair of free throws to ice it here in the fourth quarter. Is this one of those years in 2A where you could have played the tournament 4 different times and perhaps come up with 4 different champions?
Yes, no doubt. You know, because in the first round against Riverside had Howe on the ropes at one time. I mean, Coach Brown, we talked about it on Thursday after that game. You know, Riverside was rolling, and when Riverside gets rolling, they're really good.
It's funny you bring them up as Free at the line hits the first of 2. Washington, who played prior to this game, won the 3A title. Other than the loss to Dell, their closest game was the overtime win to start the season against that Riverside squad you just spoke of.
Yep.
Free at the line. The senior has iced it.
4 of 4.
8-point lead, and as you mentioned, 4 of 4 in the final minute. Softball pass ricochets off of the rim for Vanoss, and Howe celebrates with a dog pile at midcourt. Vanoss, valiant comeback effort. They were able to get it down to 2. They had it down with a chance, but couldn't finish it off, and they fall here 50-42. Coming up, our 2A post-game wrap-up. We'll do it after this on Squirtle and the Sports Animals streaming platforms.
Welcome to Charleston's, where great food and great service is what's on the menu. Business lunch after landing that big sale? Check. Never miss ordering our mouth-watering spinach dip? Check. Catching up over some margaritas? Check. Or just a craving for our key lime pie? Checkmate. No matter the reason, big, small, or none at all, you gotta come to Charleston's.
Evolve Events strives to provide a top-tier youth basketball experience in the OKC metro area. Our goal is to create a safe, competitive atmosphere that also works within your budget. We are focused on facilitating an environment that will help all players, teams, and coaches grow. Whether you're aiming to take your skills to the next level, secure a spot on your school team, or one day hoist a gold ball at the big house, Evolve Events has a platform for you. Don't just play, evolve. Visit our website at evolveokevents.com to get signed up for an Evolve event today.
I will have... Sorry, but how do you choose? I will have... Ooh.
The old-fashioned banana split sends your taste buds to heaven. But the strawberry shortcake sundae tastes like summer in a dish. Then there's the molten lava cake sundae. Oh, but the banana fudge sundae, I'm truly...
Sir, or you could get all 4. Let's do that.
Come enjoy your favorite classic sundae at Brahms.
Wiggins Auctioneers is a full-service auction company well-versed in selling farm and range land, minerals, commercial and residential properties, as well as equipment, estate, and trust liquidations. In order to better serve our clients, Wiggins Realty offers conventional for-sale listings as well as buyer representation. Whether buying or selling, auction or conventional, we want to be your trusted company. Wiggins Auctioneers, 3 generations strong and setting the standard since 1963.
Welcome back, everyone. Wrapping up the 2A state championship game. Howe, the Lady Lions, securing their first title since 2021. And with that title win, they hang on for dear life, 50-42, the final. And for the Howe Lady Lions, their 7th state championship. And for Coach Brown, the 5th of his career. Take a look at the way this one played out. And let's begin with Vanoss. A lot of credit to the players on the bench. Macy Parks and Dally Carlos. Those two come off of the bench to score 24 of their team's 42 points, while Livy Ellis finishes up 1 of 10 from the field with 3 points. Without the bench player performance, Vanoss doesn't even have a shot.
No, and a lot of people don't know how hard that is to come off the bench in a state championship game. And I'll be the first to admit I haven't followed Vanoss real close this year, so maybe they do. Maybe they play a lot, maybe they get a lot of minutes, but still, I mean, those are 2 young girls that had really good games for them today.
Big games, but came up short. Vanoss today finishing up 15 of 43 from the field for 34%. The funniest stat of the game, or the most interesting, there were 15 makes. 11 of them were from downtown. They were 11 of 33 from beyond the arc. Basically, everything that went through the hoop was a three-pointer because they went 1 of 5 from the free throw line. Howe, on the other hand, the Lady Lions, they cooled down a little bit in the second half of this one. They finish up going 18 of 47 from the field for 38%. They were 3 of 10 from downtown. 11 of 16 from the free throw line, but the most important free throws, the final 4 of the game. that were made by Slately Joe Free, who finished up with 9 points and 4 boards. Double-double performance for Cadence Delt. Volume effort, had 15 points off of 5 of 12 shooting from the field, but she recovered with 10 rebounds. She also had 4 assists in just over 30 minutes of action, while Lexi Scarberry, 12 points and 9 boards, so almost 2 double-doubles in the game for Howe.
Yeah, and that we talked about it before the game, thought that's where Howe maybe had the advantage as far as whichever one Ellis wasn't guarding, the other one could have some success on the offensive end, and I think that's kind of what they did.
So for Vanoss, they go home with silver back toward Ada, and for Howe, they head back toward Podo, and they head back with gold for the 7th time in school history. Coach, big thanks for joining me. It's been a while since we've seen one another. Enjoyed it as always. Kevin Llewellyn joining us. A big thanks to Adam Dieselhorst for including me on this one. A big thanks to our on-site producer, Josh Nelson. Coming up, the 5A Girls State Championship game. It is around the corner, but for me, my time here is done. Big thanks for listening. Big thanks to all the sponsors at Squirtle, and we'll do it again next year. They'll continue on today. The next 4 state title games coming up here after this on Squirtle and across the Sports Animal streaming platforms.